Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am just about to do a bit of a pantry makeover today and I'm really excited about it because I've honestly not touched that pantry since I moved in here, and I always wanted to have one of those Pinterest worthy aesthetic looking pantries, and it just fell by the wayside. I feel like there's some things in your house where you're just like whatever and throw things into the cupboard, and unfortunately for me that has been the pantry, and it's literally just gotten to the point now where I feel like there's probably food in there that might be reaching expiry, or it's just really disorganized and I can't see what I want. So when I go to the supermarket, sometimes I end up buying duplicates of things or just not using up the stuff that's actually there, which is really silly. So I thought it is time. I think I want to see what I've got because I do have like a couple of little containers and shelves and things in there, but I think I need a couple of extra things to actually make it happen. So that's what I'm going to do today. I figure the best way to approach this is being really organized and strategic and planning it out instead of just running off to the shops and buying a whole bunch of things that might not fit, because some of the shelves in my pantry are fixed. So I'm going to have to grab out a tape measure to measure them, and I thought I might also create a list, and that will be my shopping list of specifically what containers I want. So that's the way I've seen other people do it. I think it makes the most sense to me, and I am just going to write all of that down, and then like I probably will head off to Kmart and IKEA and all of those kinds of places, because I think that would be my best bet to get containers that are actually in stock today that I could just put in there right now. So that's the plan, and I do have two mini life updates. So if you're watching the last vlog, you probably saw that I severely burned my hand, and I'm happy to report that it is actually healing really well. So this is the burn update, and if I were to show you like the anatomy of the burn, I swear to God, it has healed so much faster than I thought it would. So it was kind of like this to this to this, and I'm very, very happy because I just think I got off very lucky. I must have got the cold water on it super quick because it was painful, but that's that. And the last thing, for anyone who wants to try Builder on their nails, these are my natural nails now. I was like an SNS convert for years, and I eventually swapped over to the Builder. I just get it done at a place called Soak on Chapel Street, and I'm such a fan of this now. I think it's so great for nail health, but I'm slightly worried when I'm traveling later in the year that I won't be able to find somewhere overseas. So this will kind of last for a month, but I'm going to be away for like almost 2 months, I think. So yeah, if you know anywhere overseas, like Europe, America, something like that, that does Builder in a bottle, let me know. But this color was B29 and I actually really like it. It's kind of like a nudie pink sort of color. But that being said, let's jump into the pantry. I'll show you the horrible before, and then hopefully we can have a beautiful, clean, Pinterest worthy after and measure everything up. This cabinet here is my pantry, and it's probably about 60 centimeters wide by 60 centimeters deep. And of course, the dream in the end would be to have a beautiful butler's pantry or a walk-in pantry of sorts, but apartment living is a little bit different. So I'm going to show you what I've got inside and what we've got to work with. So embarrassingly, this is what has become of my pantry due to the fact that I've literally just left it for so long and just pushed a bunch of things in there when I get really busy, and it is a complete and utter mess. It also just functionally doesn't work because even the spices, for example, like I end up having to dig them all out when I'm trying to find something, and I literally just have no idea what's there. So first things first, I'm literally just going to pull everything out except for the microwave and have a little bit of a look at what I've got, and then we can do some planning. When we're ready to do the labeling later as well, I've actually just grabbed out my trusty old little Dymo labeler, and I actually just got this from Officeworks. I think it was like maybe $25 or something, and it's one of those old school ones with the letters that you kind of just click around and enter all of the tags in there, and then it prints it out on the black tape. And I actually just love the look of this. I know I could get a more expensive labeler that's like a digital version, but I kind of really prefer this. I think it looks really aesthetic, so that's what we're gonna do.
Go this under. I know we're going somewhere into the danger zone.
Okay, I've moved everything out of the pantry and it's already looking a million times better. So time to do a little bit of a stock take of what I've got, and then we can propose how to fill up the shelves. I did have one small win when I was just going through the pantry then, and I found a clear turntable from Kmart that I'd actually purchased previously. So I'm kind of thinking that all of these spices that are just stacked up on this shelf that was sitting on top of the microwave can probably just go onto this turntable. So that's going to be my first task, and then we can kind of see what room is left over. I just had a thought that doing this in alphabetical order makes the most sense, because then I'll be able to really easily find them. That has actually worked out so well. I put any of the big containers of other miscellaneous things in the middle, but the main spice thing makes so much sense. Everything is all alphabetized, and I'm really, really happy with that. Another thing I already had up in my cupboard with these containers, and my initial thought was to use this for making salads to take to work, because obviously being able to meal prep and pack things, they're a really good size, but I think I might actually use this to put in some tea. So I've just filled up 2 of these with tea. This one is the mixed bag of all the random teas that I found. And then this one I filled up with my 2 go-tos. I usually like the Twinings afternoon tea and also peppermint tea. So I've just popped those in there together, and they can just sit on the spice shelf for now. The only other useful thing I found that I currently already had was this shelf. So I've just popped that in so we can get some double layering up on the top shelf there. But I think I'm just going to need a whole bunch of containers. So I'll show you everything I've got on the bench, and then we can figure all of that out. These 2 flour containers I just popped straight in there because I don't really need to take it out of them. They're already good enough. This is everything I've got left to sort through from the pantry. So there's just a whole bunch of loose things that are in pretty unattractive packets, and this was really my problem. They just kind of stack very badly. You can't see what's there, and it really just doesn't look very nice. So I'm going to do a little bit of a stock take of all of these bits and pieces now, and then I can figure out how many containers I'll need. I've just written out a little bit of a summary based off everything I've got here on the bench. So for my calculations, I need a couple of medium to large and a couple of small to medium sized containers. So I have 7 large containers in total, and I need about 9 small containers in total. So quite a few things to go and get, and I'm sort of roughly estimating they'll be at least $2 to $3 each. So what is that going to be? 16 by 3, I don't know, maybe just over $50 for all of the containers. So yeah, that's what we're going to go and do, and I will update you when I'm back. I had a slight change of heart just because I don't want to drive to Kmart because it's a little bit further away, and I may be able to achieve my outcome in a little bit of a different way. So we're going to pivot, and I'm going to go to the $2 store that's just down the road from me on Chapel Street, and fingers crossed they'll have quite a lot of containers. I have purchased some stuff from there before, so I might actually be able to get the job done without having to kind of go anywhere. So let's head off. I have to say, I stupidly put a lot of faith in this paper bag right now, and thankfully it served me all right, but I did find myself kind of carrying it down the street like this because I was worried all of the glass jars were going to fall out of it. But I actually managed to find what I need at the junk shop, albeit probably a little bit more expensive than it would have been at Kmart. But you know what, by the time I spend my time, petrol, everything else, it probably works out to be the same. So I'm going to unpack and show you what I've got now, and then I can organize and label all of the jars. These are the large size jars. These ones are about 500 mils, and these were $4.50 each. I also got a 3-pack of these smaller little jars for some of the nuts and seeds as well. And then I found this intermediate size one, and these were $4 each. So I got quite a different mix of all sorts of size jars, and I think this will be perfect. First up, that is the 3 jars of nuts done. So I've got peanuts, pine nuts, and the slithered almonds. This is everything I've got now all put into the jars, and I think that's looking really good. So now they're ready for me to make up all of the little labels on the Dymo labeler. That's all the jars labeled up now. I actually saved a spare one over there because I normally have my decaf and then coffee in it, but I actually ended up breaking that the other day. So nice little spare one to deal with later. But I think these labels look so nice. They just add a little rustic kind of touch to the jars. So now everything is ready to be stacked and put away in the pantry. That looks so good. I am obsessed, and it's so much easier and more organized to see and access everything as well. So these jars are stacked a couple of rows deep just because they're the bigger ones, but even then, just having everything out of those awkward packets is such an upgrade. That's all done, and this is what the pantry looks like now. It is such a massive difference from the before and after. I actually cannot believe I let it get so bad for so long, but I'm really, really excited to have this so much more organized now. Okay, that's it for my pantry makeover. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and maybe it's given you a little bit of inspiration or a couple of ideas for how to work on your pantry and just get everything super clean and organized so you can find exactly what you need, not waste money on food going off, and realistically just have a very beautiful home to live in that just makes you happy and cozy every time you open a cupboard, instead of just constantly living in mess, which is what I've been doing for a little while here. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.